Alright YouTube, today I'm back on some Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and I just wanted to give y'all my settings real quick. I'm not even going to waste your time. We're going to be going with keyboard and mouse because that's what I main, and I'm going to be going to controller and graphics, audio, interface settings. I'm going to be going through like all of that. So, first, I main keyboard and mouse. Most people play on controller, so I'm going to go through this part very quick. But I play 2.75 sensitivity with 1600 DPI. I keep my ADS sensitivity at 1. For keybinds, I have basically default keybinds, except I use control for the dive and I use C for the crouch and slide. That's like the only thing that I change. I might have changed more. I'm gonna just scroll through just so y'all can see. But yeah, these are my... Oh yeah, I use Q for ping, and instead of... Yeah, I use mouse button for tac equipment and I use Q for ping. Ping doesn't even really matter, but for intelligent movement, I have sprint assist on tactical sprint assist, and crouch behavior toggle, and then like combat hold, of course, press, hold, double tap for danger ping. Okay, so for controller settings, I actually played a few matches of this game on controller, and I believe my controller settings are pretty good. You might want to go to somebody else, that like specializes in playing in controller, but these are the best that I found, that work for me. So, I have default. If you don't have, I would probably run, I forget what the setting is called, but like, if you don't have mouse click triggers, I would recommend, this, swap LB/RB with LT/RT, which, that basically makes it to where it uses LB and RB to aim and shoot. So it's instant. If you're using the triggers, you're getting a little bit of delay. Like when you hit RT to shoot, you have to like press the button all the way down and then it shoots. So I used to play with this, and I used to play claw, and that really works for me. So I would recommend at least trying it. If you don't like it, you could always switch back, but don't say that I didn't put you onto that. But anyways, I use 12 sensitivity, vertical, horizontal. I might put it up a little bit more if I did play controller, like maybe like 13, because it does still feel like a little bit slow to me. But yeah, of course I turn vibration off. I don't even want that on at all. Dead zone, adjust this to your, like, I would probably put this a little bit low for me. What you want to do is you want to see if you have stick drift. If you don't have any stick, like, you want to start this at 0, like at 0 0, and then you want to like leave your controller still. And if your controller starts to like move on its own, or like the right stick, like you kind of like aim a little bit like to the right when you don't mean to do that, you want to go ahead and turn this a little bit up until you don't get that stick drift anymore. That's basically what dead zone means. Dead zone is basically like how much force you need to put on your thumbstick for it to start moving. Okay, so now let's go over to aiming. For aiming, I didn't even mess with the sensitivity multiplier. Of course you want your target aim assist on. I like that they don't have like 5 different types of aim assist, because that always makes it like kind of confusing. Yo, I'm editing right now. I don't know how I missed this in the video, but if you click aiming advanced settings, you have more settings, and I would recommend changing aim response curve type there to dynamic, and that's the only thing you really have to change there. I just wanted to make that clear real quick. But anyways, for the sprint assist, I use tac sprint assist. There's something else that I forgot to mention during the recording, but you want to go to show more to tac sprint assist, and you want to make sure the delay is at 0. I don't use mantle assist or crouch assist. Like if you use mantle assist, and you kind of like, you could be in a gunfight and you're like shooting somebody, and then your game would just like automatically mantle, like when you don't want to. You don't want that to happen. I don't have auto door peek on, but that might be, yeah, I would have that on, because I hate the doors in this game. Okay, anyway, slide dive behavior. I would probably just use tap to slide. Maybe in this game, tap to dive. I would use tap to slide in Warzone or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, but I think diving is slightly more useful in this game. Like, I'm willing to say that, because now, like, while you're diving, you can like dive to the right and shoot somebody like while diving. I think diving is a little bit more useful than sliding in this game. So I would have tap to dive and probably like hold the slide. After looking at it again, I think hybrid might be the best option for that setting, but try just about like all of them and use whichever one works for you. I didn't change anything in the movement advanced settings. For the aim down sight behavior, I use hold, weapon mount activation, ADS and melee, of course. Yeah, grouped. Equipment behavior, hold, managing your file behavior, press. Because I think if you press, like, you can do it like faster than holding. Because I think if you hold, there's a delay. But if you like press, if you have like a really fast trigger finger, then you can shoot like faster than hold. Because, you know, the delay will hold. But if you're like kind of slow with like clicking the button, I would recommend trying hold. And, you know, anyways, for display settings, for graphic settings, I'm pretty sure like most of these options are only on PCs. So I'm gonna go through this section like kind of quick because, you know, for my controller players out there. But anyways, for display mode, I do full screen borderless because I'm a streamer and I need to like be able like to quickly go to chat and like quickly go to my OBS and see if everything is going smoothly. But if you only have one monitor and you're just gonna be locked in on the game, I would definitely recommend using full screen exclusive. And then for, you know, display adapter, you want to make sure this is on your graphics card. Like if I set this to the UHD 770, my graphics, I probably wouldn't even get more than 10 FPS because those are my integrated graphics. You want to make sure you have your display adapter set to your graphics card if you play on PC. You know, for your screen refresh rate, you want to make sure that's the highest refresh rate. Display resolution, make sure your display resolution is your monitor's refresh rate. If you play on 1440p, you want this at 1440p. You know, if you play at 4K, you want this at 4K. Even if you don't want to play at 4K, still set this to, you know, 4K. Or like the highest that your monitor can do. Because I'll show you how to lower the render resolution later. But, you know, aspect ratio, unless you have a crazy ultra-wide monitor, 16:9 is like the default for most people. You know, display gamma, I just have mine on CPU RGB. Restart shaders preloading, you don't want to do this until you apply all your settings. You want to apply all your settings and then do this. But display gamma, you want this at 2.2. Brightness, don't max out your brightness, because I seen people do that and their game looks so terrible. Like, you know, Black Ops Cold War and like other games, the game looked amazing if you set your brightness to 100, but not this game. I think you might want to go with like, you know, the not visible, barely visible, and like I have mine at like 60. I like mine at 60. You see, like then you can't see this at all. You can barely see that, and you can easily see that, or maybe like a little bit higher. Like now you can see that clearly. That's kind of like barely visible, and you can't see that at all. I might have mine at like 65, probably 65, a great number. But anyways, you know, going on with the next settings, you know, video reflex latency, I have that on. Eco mode preset, just custom. VSync, you don't want VSync on unless you have screen tears, which you might. VSync does introduce latency, I believe, so you might not want that on. But if you have screen tears and it's like really bad, then, you know, go ahead. You know, I would go with unlimited, but you know, if you do want to do like custom, like I might do custom and have my thing set to like 170 because that's my monitor's refresh rate. And then like menu, I might have my menu at like 60 FPS. So you know, I'm not stressing out my graphics card like in the menu, but you know, everything all up to you. I might actually switch to custom because I do kind of like that. You know, out of focus, you know, you could mess with that. Like out of focus is like if you click on like another window, like you click on Discord, then it's gonna lower your frame rate in the game to, you know, so it doesn't use your GPU that much, you know, like when you're not even tabbed on the game. So I'm personally gonna run with unlimited, but you know, if you want custom, you know, that's amazing too. Menu render resolution, I use native. Pause game rendering, I don't do that. Focus mode is mainly for if you have like a double monitor setup, because what happens if you turn this on is actually going to blur, it's gonna dim your second monitor. I mean, so like if I have it on 60, I can barely see my second monitor. This setting is so useless unless you have like 5 monitors and you don't want to get distracted. You know, you could just like bump that up to 100 and like all your monitors, which is dim. But I personally just keep this at 0. But if you like that, then, you know, that's you. High dynamic range, I would not turn this on even if you have the best HDR monitor. I would not personally use HDR in an FPS game. You know, that's, if you want that, then you can have that on. Anyways, you know, for graphic preset, you know, you want this on custom, of course, because we're going to be using custom settings. Render resolution, I use 75. This is what I was talking about before. This here, let me apply. This here, you want to have your display resolution at your monitor's refresh rate. But if you want that lower, you would go here to quality and you would actually decrease this here, you know, to 75 for me, because I play on 1080p and I just use Fidelity FX Cast, and then I just go ahead and max that out. If you want, you know, you can also use like 100%, and if you want to like downscale your quality, you can use something like NVIDIA DLSS or something like that. That's gonna downscale your screen, downscale your resolution to like really, really low, and use like AI. I'm pretty sure DLSS uses AI, but it uses AI to kind of like upscale it. So you're basically running like a fake resolution, but it's usually looks really good. And I think DLSS does look pretty good in this game. But VRAM skill target, this game doesn't use a ton of VRAM. I have an 8GB 3060 Ti. If you have something like, if you have over 10 gigabytes of VRAM, then I would definitely max this out at 90. But you know, I personally have this at 80. And for the settings, I actually looked at like a lot of like setting guides and stuff, and kind of like made my settings like optimized kind of to that. But I kind of run like low. I run a mix of low and very low. You know, I keep this on, but you don't really have to have like crazy settings, because the game, all the high settings do is just tank your FPS and make your game look like 2% better. I mean, if you want that, then you want that, but I basically run like low, off, very low. I might turn my setting to like extreme if I take a thumbnail shot. That's about it. You know, you want your on-demand texture streaming to minimal, since there's no option to turn that off. Yeah, and you want the daily download limit on 1. You want to go ahead and set that as well, so it doesn't. So that's like the closest to being off it could possibly go. Because if you turn this on optimized, what it's going to do is it's going to download textures with your internet while you're playing the game. So you do not want that. What that's going to do is that's going to introduce packet loss and all that type of stuff that I don't think you want. If you want that, then you probably shouldn't want to watch this video. But if you want to get rid of packet bursts and stuff like that, then definitely turn this on minimal. Now, if we go down, we have local texture streaming quality. Basically, what this does is, you know, it downloads your textures locally, which, you know, is not nearly as bad as downloading it through the internet. So, you know, I would still turn this on low though. Shadow quality, very low. All shadow quality does is just tank your FPS. You know, I keep this off, low, you know, off, low, off. So those are basically my settings, and my game still looks perfectly fine. And I run like 1080p. I run like 160 FPS with my 3060 Ti, which is crazy. For the view settings, you want motion reduction, you know, you want that off. Field of view, a lot of people say not to max out your FOV. I think if you use a little bit lower FOV, it does help out with the aim assist a little bit if you're on controller. Like some people recommend like 115 or something, but I personally use keyboard and mouse. Like none of those like aim assist stuff even like apply to me. But I would definitely recommend trying like, you know, 114 or something and seeing if that works for you. You know, if that works for you, then perfect. But you know, weapon field of view, ADS field of view affected. Weapon field of view, I use default right now, but I think I used wide on MW3. But I'm gonna just keep that at default. You know, you could just play around with this and see what you want. I'm honestly like, these two settings are like a gray area for me. Like I don't know which one to go with here, but you know, I would just see what works for you. But anyways, you know what, road motion blur off, weapon motion blur off. On default, weapon motion blur is actually on, so you want to go ahead and make sure that it's completely off. But you know, anyways, for first person camera movement, you want that on least. Inverted flashbang, you know, you want that on. And yeah, that's it for the graphics. Let's go to the audio. I usually keep 70 is probably better. I keep my master at 70, and I have gameplay 30, dialogue 60, effects 100, so you can hear like all the footsteps and stuff. And in cinematic, cinematic doesn't really matter, but I have that at 60. If you're using good headphones, I would recommend using headphone bass boost. That's what I use, and I can hear everything perfectly fine. And you don't want mono audio on. Please do not turn this on, because what that's going to do is if you're using headphones that have stereo audio, what that's going to do is it's going to go ahead and take every single audio and merge them to both the left and right speaker, and you don't want that. If you have this off, if somebody's to the left of you, you're going to hear them on the left side of your headphones. You're going to hear them to the left. And if you have this on, you're just going to hear like everything, both sets of headphones. So you won't know if somebody's above you or below you. I wouldn't do that. But I have this off. Hitmarker preset, I have this default, voice chat. I just keep voice chat off right now. I use automatic on. I don't want tutorials. I don't want this. I do want that. Yeah, I would recommend having like that. Telemetry is basically like what shows on the top left of your screen right here. I usually use FPS counter, server latency, and GPU temp. That's usually it. And then, yeah, you want network and game alert icons. You want hardware and game alert icons, just so you could see if like everything's going well. Like you see CPU temp, the game is literally going to let you know if your GPU is overheating. So that's like perfect. Color customization, I usually use filter 2, and I usually just max it out. And then gameplay HUD, you can go ahead, and I see a lot of people using magnified. Like you see, it just makes everything like a little bit bigger. I might run that, but right now I'm just using standard. I use default colors. Yeah, counter network. Yeah, none of that stuff really matters, and towards gameplay. So yeah, I just wanted to make a quick video, going over every single setting. And I hope y'all really enjoyed the video. Let me know if anything is wrong or if anything should be changed, and I'll go ahead and pin the comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all want to see next, with some more Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I'm really enjoying the game. I probably am going to start making videos on specific weapons here on now. Like the next video is probably going to be an XM4 video. I do plan to have a video dropping tomorrow, and like I said, I hope you all have an amazing day. Keep going crazy in Black Ops 6, and I'll see y'all in the next one.